So welcome back to the Canadian Electrical Code Masterclass Series, OESC 2024. I'm Fabian from Fabian Electrical Services Inc. Tonight we're covering one of the most important topics in electrical safety, smoke detector and fire alarm code rules. We'll break down placement rules for smoke and CO detectors, inter- interconnection requirements, wired versus wireless, battery backup and power supply, fire alarm systems for multi-unit and commercial buildings. If you're an electrician, apprentice, inspector, or homeowner, this episode will give you clear code-based answers you can use in the field. Stay tuned, hit the like button if you're here live, and let's dive into OESC 2024, Section 32. Again, this video is for educational use only, so refer to then official Ontario Building Code. Always confirm with your local inspector or authorities for clarifications. And I'm going to be pulling up the code book. We're going to jump right into the code book. Again, as you guys come in, if you guys can like up the live stream. Also, if you guys can get me more than 20 likes tonight, that'll be great, as we are going to be diving into the topic at hand here. And again, I'm going to pull up the Ontario code book here. I'm going to share my screen. So again, this is the basically section 32, fire alarm system, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, and fire pumps. Also says see Appendix G, and 3200 scope says see Appendix B, called fire alarm system, permanently connected smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, and fire pumps required by the National Building Code of Canada. So it also goes on to um, so except as provided by Subrule 2, insulated conductors shall be copper and shall have an ampacity adequate to carry the minimum current that can be provided by the circuit. Optical fiber cables shall be permitted for use in data communication links between control units and transponders of a fire alarm system, as this ULC-5524. And optical fiber cables is one of those cables that I've seen before. Um, they mostly use it in commercial. I'm not sure if they use it in industrial also. Stranded insulated connectors with more than 7 strands shall be bunched in or terminated in connectors. Conductors shall have an insulation rating not less than 300 volts. Again, this is the fire alarm system. Um, um, and shall not be smaller than number 16 into race rate. Number 19 gauge for individual insulated conductors laid in raceways. Uh, 19 gauge for integral assembly of two or more insulated conductors, and 22 gauge for an integrated assembly of four or more insulated conductors. Insulated conductors and cables shall be suitable in accordance with Rule 12-102, number 3, except that individual insulated gauge copper of the type selected in accordance with Rule 12-122. So this is basically sending you to this rule after you have read this one rule here. Wiring method. An insulated conductor of a fire alarm system shall be an insulated conductor of a fire alarm system type. That's a cable having a metal armor or sheet. Again, that's the trade name we call it is BX, aluminum sheeted cable is the name. Installed in rigid non-metallic conduit. Rigid non-metallic conduit is the PVC that we use on the outside. Installed in electrical non-metallic tubing. We're embedded in at least 50 millimeters of masonry or poured concrete. Sorry, I believe rigid might be the other type of conduit. Notwithstanding sub-rule 1, insulated conductors installed in buildings of combustible construction in accordance with the rule of section 12 shall be permitted to be non-metallic sheeted cable, fire alarm and signal cable, or installing a total enclosed non-metallic raceway. The insulated conductors shall be installed to be entirely independent of all other wiring and shall not enter a raceway, box, apply. A signal, an auxiliary device, or a communication circuit. All wiring of a communication system connected to a fire alarm system to extend the fire alarm system beyond the building shall conform to the applicable rules of section 60. An insulated conductor containing the same raceway or cable shall be insulated for the highest voltage in the raceway or cable. Not going to go too much into the fire alarm. There's it's a whole different ball game. So equipment bonding, expose non-current carrying metal parts of electrical equipment, include it says expose non-current carrying metal parts of electrical equipment, including outlet boxes, conductor enclosure, race and cabinets, shall be bonded to ground in accordance with section 10. So that means the boxes, metal stuff, section 10. Where a non-metallic wiring system is used, a bonded conductor shall be incorporated in each cable and shall be sized in accordance with Rule 10-16. So again, where a non-metallic wiring system is used, a bonding conductor shall be incorporated in each cable and shall be sized in accordance with Rule 10-616. supply sleep. So again, this is the fire alarm that it's referring to when it comes to the actual terminals. Um, and then it goes on 32-108 power supply. The power supply to a fire alarm system shall be provided by a separate circuit. So the power supply to a fire alarm system shall be provided by a separate circuit. Notwithstanding sub-rule 1, where a fire alarm system includes more than one control unit or the power supply to each control unit or trans circuit. That means a separate branch circuit just means you need a individual circuit to provide power. Overcurrent device and disconnecting means for the separate circuit supplying a fire alarm system shall be clearly identified as the fire alarm power supply in a permanent, suspicious, and legal manner. And the disconnecting means shall be colored red and be lockable in the on position. So again, as you guys come in, you guys are tuned into Fabian Electrical Services Inc. Again, as you guys come in, if you guys can like up the live stream, try to give me about 20 likes tonight. That would be great. The content is great. So if you guys can give me 20 likes to help with the algorithm, that will be well appreciated. Okay, so um, we're now at smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarms. So again, smoke alarms are very important. It's life safety. It helps you um, to get out of the home in time once functioning properly, meaning that you have to have your backup battery in place. Make sure your backup battery is always working, just in case you do lose power from the actual smoke detector itself with the main power coming in. If your battery is working, it will signal. Also, make sure that your smoke alarm, smoke detector is not expired. Um, Max 7 years for the normal smoke detectors and 10 years for the other kind of the strobe like smoke detectors. So installation of smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms in dwelling units. The following requirements shall apply to the installation of permanent connect lighting circuits. You're going to see that I do supply the smoke alarms with a lighting circuit. That's how we do it in Canada. We provide the power through the use of the lighting circuit, and it has to be straight power, no switch to turn off the smoke alarm. You cannot have a disconnect in between. So smoke alarm or carbon monoxide alarm shall be supplied from a lighting circuit or from a circuit that supplies a mix of lighting and receptacles. Smoke alarm and of a smoke not be installed where the circuit is protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter or an arc fault circuit interrupter. So again, this rule here for all those who are checking in, you're tuned into Fabian Electrical Services Inc. Again, as you guys come in, don't forget to like up the live stream. So smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms are a device that is a combination of a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm shall not be installed where the circuit is protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter or an arc fault circuit interrupter. Interrupter is basically your GFI, and an arc fault circuit interrupter is the actual arc fault breaker. Again, the nuisance is going to trigger the smoke alarm, and that's probably why they're saying not to install it. Um, I've always pulled my lighting circuit to the smoke detector, so I don't have an issue with this rule here. There shall be no, and there, as it says here, 32-200 1C. There shall be no disconnecting means between the smoke alarm or the carbon monoxide alarm and the overcurrent device for the branch circuit, and the wiring material for a smoke alarm, including any ah, monoxide alarm, including any interconnection of units and their associated equipment shall be in accordance with Section 12. Notwithstanding Sub-Rule 1B, where a smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarm, or a device that is a combination of a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm had battery as a secondary supply source, such an alarm or device shall be permitted to be connected to a circuit protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter or an arc fault circuit interrupter. So again, we're going to read this rule again. Notwithstanding Sub-Rule 1B, where a smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarm, or a device that is a combination of a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm has an integral battery as a secondary supply source, such an alarm or device shall be permitted to be connected to a circuit protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter or an arc fault circuit interrupter. So I'm going to go back to the other rule here. Um, so this rule here says smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarms are a device that is a combination of a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm shall not be in. So it doesn't. So these are two different rules here. I'm going to read this over again. Alarms are a device that is a combination of a smoke alarm, and a circuit interrupter, or an arc fault circuit. We're catching it right because it says smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarms. This other rule here, um, it says notwithstanding Sub-Rule 1. So it's sending us back to Sub-Rule 1 of Sub-Rule 1B is where it's sending us back to, and that's where I went back to before. It's basically saying where a smoke alarm, carbon monoxide alarm, or a device that is a combination of a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm has an integral battery as a secondary supply source, such as an alarm or device shall be permitted to be connected to a circuit protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter or on an arc fault circuit interrupter. So it tells you you can do it in a different case, but again, it's something that I don't do. So the rule is there, as long as you refer to where it's sending you for clarification. And a lot of time, that's what happens. We miss the clarification, and we don't see the other rule. So fire pumps, insulated conductors, is telling us to go to C appendix B and G. Insulated conductors from the emergency power source to a fire pump shall have an ampacity not less than 125% of the full load current rating of the motor, where 25% auxiliary loads, where two or more motors are connected to the Code of Canada. Wiring metals C appendix B and G. All insulated conductors to fire pump equipment shall be installed in metal raceway of the total enclosure type. So again, this is section 3200. And again, as you guys come in, don't forget to like up the live stream. Very important. Helps with the algorithm. Also, if you guys can give me about 20 likes, that'd be great. So, incorporated in a cable having a metal armor or sheet of a type selected in accordance with Rule 12-102. Installing rigid non-metallic conduit where embedded in at least 50 millimeters of masonry or poured concrete, or installed underground, or installed in electrical non-metallic tubing where embedded in at least 50 millimeters of masonry or poured concrete. This is basically the service box for fire pumps. So it basically says it's a separate service box conforming to Rule 32.3-06 shall be permitted for fire pumps equipment. Notwithstanding Rule 6-102, 2, a service box for fire pumps equipment shall be permitted to be located remote from other service boxes. Disconnecting means an overcurrent protection. No device capable of interrupting the fire pump circuit other than a circuit breaker labeled in a conspicuous, legally and permanent manner, identifying it as the fire pump. Fire pump disconnecting means shall be placed between the service box from the normal power supply and a fire pump controller, or the main circuit breaker of the emergency generator and a fire pump transfer switch. The circuit breaker referred to in Subrule 1 shall be lockable in the closed position. The circuit breaker referred to in Subrule 1 shall be permitted to be used in separate service box described in Rule 32-304. So it's giving you the rule you can do, but it's also telling you to refer to 32-304. The overcurrent protective device of the circuit breaker described in Subrule 1, 1A, shall be set or rated to carry indefinitely the lock rotor current of the fire pumps. The overcurrent protective device of the circuit breaker described in Subrule 1B shall be set or rated at a value not less than the overcurrent protection, provided integral with the fire pump transfer switch. notwithstanding Subrule 1B, where the circuit breaker is installed in an emergency supply feeder between the emergency generator and the fire pump transfer switch, the feeder shall be permitted to bypass the generator main circuit breaker and be connected directly to the emergency generator. So again, this is the transfer switch rule when it comes to the emergency generators and stuff. I also tells you, it also has the transfer switch, and it tells you to see Appendix B and G. So I would basically refer to Appendix B and G, where an on-site electrical transfer switch is used to provide emergency power supply to fire pumps equipment such as the transfer switch shall be provided solely for the fire pumps located in a barriered compartment of the fire pump controller or in a separate enclosure adjacent to the controller, labeled in conspicuous. Here, just want to find back where I was. Okay, so label in a conspicuous, legible, and permanent manner, identifying it as the fire pump service, and so marked. Where more than one fire pump is provided with the emergency power as described in Subrule 1, the separate transfer. You guys come in, if you guys can like up the live stream, help me get through the algorithm, that would be great. Please and thank you. Just like up the live overhead, over, overload and overheating protection. See Appendix G. The branch circuit conductors and control conductors or equipment of a fire pump shall not require overload or overheating protection and shall be permitted to be protected by the motor branch circuit over current device. For protection shall not be installed in a fire pump circuit. So I believe that is that for the actual to share my screen. I'm going to right now the building code. So again, this is just a rule. Smoke detector regulations for Ontario are as follows. Ontario building code requires direct wire smoke alarm be installed in all new homes construction since 1986. Ontario building code requires a mandatory installation of buildings built after 2001. Um, every home in Ontario must have a working smoke alarm on every story and outside all sleeping areas by law. I believe that is um, it is the homeowner's responsibility to install and maintain smoke alarms on every story of their home and outside sleeping areas. The Ontario Fire Code requires that all homes possess smoke alarm systems